The U.S. State Department has issued what they believe are the biggest threats when visiting the Bahamas. I'm going to get you that information. Additionally, we have the top cruise news updates from across the cruise industry, and I'm going to get you that information fast coming up. Welcome to the Travel Scouts. My name is Jason and we are your cruise information channel. We get you the cruise news and information you're looking for quickly without wasting your time. So if you love cruising, consider subscribing. Okay, I've got the top 8 cruise news updates. Let's go ahead and kick this off. We have a hurricane season update. The Eastern Pacific is clear with no tropical cyclone activity expected in the next 48 hours. So let's talk about the Atlantic. The Atlantic has 4 weather systems of concern. They are identified by the red and yellow icons on this map. But notably, there are 2 hurricanes in the Atlantic. Hurricane Margot is a Category 1 hurricane with max sustained winds of 75 miles per hour. Thankfully, it is moving to the north and it appears it will remain out at sea. Hurricane Lee is now a Category 3 hurricane with max sustained winds of 115 miles per hour. Here is the current trajectory of Hurricane Lee. During the remainder of the week, it appears the largest impact of Hurricane Lee will be to Bermuda. Carnival Cruise Line has released a new cruise director schedule, and there have been several changes. If you want to check it out to see who the cruise director will be on your Carnival cruise, I'll put that information down in the video description. If you still need to book flights to get to your winter cruises, now is the time to book. We have now entered what is referred to as the Goldilocks Window. The Goldilocks Window is the time window before a departure date when you can historically expect to get the best flight rates. For U.S. domestic flights, the window is between 3 to 6 months out. For international flights, the window is even bigger. It is between 3 to 10 months out. So don't delay much longer if you still need to get a December flight. Those prices are going to begin to go up. And it's a great time to begin looking if you need January or February flights. New cruisers have questions. Now these come all the time, but I read one today that I found quite interesting. The question was posed to Carnival Cruise Line brand ambassador John Hill. They asked if cruise passengers are expected to either fully or partially make their bed. Now, of course, the answer to that question is no, but I was very interested whenever John Hill turned that question around to ask his readers what they do. 25% said they always either fully or partially make their bed. 33% said that they sometimes do, and 42% said they never do it. Okay, we have several cruise news pieces remaining, including the top headlines of the day. But quick questions, chime in down below. Regarding this question about whether or not you fully or partially make the bed in your stateroom each day, here's the question, it's for you. Do you typically, on a typical day on a cruise, do you either fully or partially make the bed in your stateroom? If you do either of those, chime in down below with A for yes or B for no. No, you don't touch that bed and make it in any way. Chime in down below with that. Personally, I do partially make the bed in our stateroom every single day. I guess I'm thinking if I lay something on the bed and there's all those wrinkles, I may lose it. So that's what I do. But look, I'm not hating. That's just what I do. Be looking forward to reading what you do as well. But now, on with the cruise news. Disney Cruise Line has announced the name of what will be their fleet's 7th cruise ship. The ship will be named the Disney Adventure, and it will be the biggest ship in Disney's fleet with a capacity of around 6,000 passengers. It is scheduled to debut in 2025, and it will be operating cruises out of Singapore. Speaking of Disney, the Disney Fantasy cruise ship has experienced some engine issues. As a result, they had to skip their stop at Castaway Cay on Friday and proceed directly back to Port Canaveral in order to maintain their schedule. Passengers were given $250 of onboard credit per stateroom and a 25% future cruise credit. The issue has now been resolved and the Disney Fantasy is currently in Cozumel, Mexico. The top 18 cruise lines have been ranked. This ranking is based upon ratings by the U.S. News and World Report, and this is said to be the best cruise lines for the money according to them. So look, here is the ranking. Virgin took the #1 spot, Carnival is 2nd, Celebrity is 3rd, then MSC, Princess, and Royal Caribbean is 6th. What do you think about those rankings? Who do you think is the best cruise line for the money? The U.S. State Department has identified what they view as the biggest threat areas when visiting the Bahamas. Overall, the Bahamas is designated a Level 2 travel advisory by the U.S. State Department. This simply means to exercise increased caution. However, the U.S. State Department has identified 3 areas of greater danger that you need to be aware of. The first is to know that the majority of crime occurs on the islands of New Providence and Grand Bahama. New Providence is the island where Nassau is located, and it contains approximately 70% of the population of the Bahamas. Grand Bahama is the island where Freeport is located, and it contains more than 15% of the population of the Bahamas. The second thing the State Department wants you to know is to be extra vigilant in the over-the-hill area of Nassau. When you arrive at Nassau, you will arrive at the north side of the island here. Most of the shopping and such is around the port and on Bay Street. A lot of cruisers will choose to take a taxi or water shuttle to go to Paradise Island. However, the over-the-hill area that the State Department is warning about is the area south of Shirley Street, and you want to be very cautious there. Or better yet, simply avoid it. The State Department warns of gang-on-gang violence in that area. The third danger that the State Department warns about is the use of independently operated jet ski and watercraft rentals in and around Nassau. They noted that some operators do not have safety certifications and their equipment is poorly maintained. U.S. government personnel are prohibited from renting watercraft from independent operators. So the best advice here would be to ensure that you stick with operators that are identified either by the cruise line or by reputable excursion sites. Okay, subscribe and turn the notification bell on to stay up to date with the latest cruise news and information. The next video will be coming out soon, but until then, keep on cruising and we'll catch you in the next video.